I'm Will Little, and you're watching United People. Today, we're going to talk with actor, singer, entertainer, and culture influencer, A-Town.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me. A pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure for you to be here, A-Town. We want to talk about your anti-bullying campaign, what you've been doing in the community and what you're doing abroad.
What I'm doing is that helping for a campaign for bullying because that a lot of people have been bullied and I want to take a stand for it because that there's a lot of people been bullied and don't have the courage to stand up for themselves or brave.
All right, before we get started, I want you to talk about, I want to take a moment to introduce yourself.
Thank you.
To the people, because people may know you from online, from TV, social media, but we want to get to know the real A-Town. So tell them about your growing up, your childhood.
My childhood was not easy, It was not good or as normal. I had a lot of health problems. Was condition for my health is called microbiome syndrome. That is with learning disability, autism, Blount's disease, kidney disease, a lot of things going on. A lot of people looked at me different. It was sad because because I was not like them, and it hurted me because I wanted to be regular, normal. But things changed around. Always been sick a lot, and always in the emergency room, and plus work.
Growing up, what are some of the memories you have with your parents?
My parents was, caring, but one person is my father. He was not caring. He was abusive to me. One day that my mom was going to work, my dad come upstairs. Remember I told you I've been having health problems as a kid.
Right.
So, my dad came up, looked at me. I don't know what he was mad about or everything. Broke my legs, my left leg. And I was hurt, crying, screaming. I was trying to figure out why did he hurt me because I have health problems, like he was upset. Also that my mom is a queen. She always been there for me, always had my back, good times and bad times. I remember that she always fight out for me, always in the school board, got kicked out of the school boards because she be standing up for me, and I got kicked out of the school boards too. I did stuff wrong too in my life, but for us, I got mostly hurt most of the time.
So your mom was most of the nurturer of the home. Your father has some own emotional issues that he was taking it out on you.
Right, and I'm like, why? And that hurted me, am I not a good son to you?
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine being a young kid and your parents should look up to, like most young kids, look up to their parents for shelter and protection and help, and your father abusing you because of issues he had with his own self, I can see that looking at. So how was it, your first experience with abuse is at home, so how was it for you in school?
It was terrifying. Why I say it was terrifying, outrageous, health problems again.
Right.
Take you back to preschool. The teachers told my mom, you gotta stand up in the public schools, because the public schools, they wouldn't listen. So when I got to the public schools, they didn't listen, and I fight for it, and they push, argue against the teachers, kids fighting me, push me, block the doors, make me feel like, I'm not wanted here. They picked on me because of my size, and they looked at it because I was different.
Right.
How much I tried to, I shouldn't explain myself to them in the past because I feel like they didn't understand. When I tried to, they kept saying, yeah, right. They kept getting their own opinions, like saying to me, like, die, or why you here, or this and that, and that reflected like, wow. And to the point that I was committing suicide.
Wow.
Because that really hurted me. Like, people was doubting me, pushing me away, and punching me, trying to make me feel like I wasn't nothing.
Right.
But as I got more to it, I strive and I be brave for it. But the teachers, like my mom went down to the school board, got kicked out the school boards because they don't want to listen. Even school boards came up to the school, surprisingly, and checked and I feel like they didn't do nothing. They just looked at the class and write notes, and that was it.
Right.
So I don't know what was.
So there was a real dark moment in your life when you thought about, you contemplated suicide.
Yes, I was committing myself suicide.
I was making a permanent decision over a temporary problem, right? And most people do. Who commit suicide? They make a permanent decision over a temporary problem. And the problem was temporary, right? Because you get to get over it, and things start getting better. But there's another dark moment in your life when your life was threatened. Tell us about that.
Yes, that's the age when I was 13. This guy, he was always mean or bully me. I don't know what for, you know. Of course, he had family that went to the school too, but I don't know. But all I know is that he always looked at me with angry or starting stuff with me. Then he thought I did something to one of his friends or girls. Something. So I didn't do nothing. So I guess took him on his point and stuff. Luckily, his friends came back and told me, well, he trying to kill you with a gun. I'm like, what? So I went to tell the principal. So the principal, all could do was check, and I feel like it was injustice.
Right.
So, you know, after everything, I told people, certain people, they didn't listen to me. You know, my mom talked about it. You know, me and my mom went up to the school and talked about it, and was sitting right there, the principal, and talking. The principal said all we could do is talk to them and check their book bag, and that was it.
Right.
But at the same time, though, I was feeling like, yo, there's like no justice once again.
Right.
So on that note, the next day, I'm here, had my head up high, trying to keep, like, you know, like people not trying to let people break me down or what's going on. So he came up to me, said that you told the principal I was trying to kill you. I said, you trying to kill you? I said, what? He said, guess what? I said, what? He said, I was trying to kill you. And I'm like, what can I do now? And I was like, damn.
Yeah, so, so how do you feel about the teachers and the principals and the school board not really listening to you? You're not having a voice within your within that experience.
It felt hurting. It felt depressing because it's like, you know, I mean, one time I walked out of the door. Walked out of the class, and kids used to get mad. And when I come back in the class, teachers and kids used to block the door, like I said, and punch me. Some of my kids used to hit me, and kids used to say, "You're not going nowhere, fighting this and that, all that," you know, because they don't understand my condition I have, and they thinking that I got special privileges. No, it's just our problems. To them, they're not going to understand because they don't have somebody in their family or something they don't understand.
Right.
You know, and I understand that they didn't understand. But back in the day, I'm like, come on now. Like, I'm saying, like, y'all want me to die or something? No, we don't want you to die. No, so what do y'all want?
So how many children were there, like, constantly bullying you?
There was so many.
So many?
Yeah, you heard the size orders back in the day?
No.
You know when you was a kid?
Oh, yeah, size
orders.
Yes,
yes.
Okay.
I always be in size orders, but I was the shortest, of course, so I was in the front all the time.
Right.
You know?
What schools were you attending?
I went to McCluskey in grade school, and I went to Renaissance in charter school in middle school. Went to Del Valle, then I went to Germantown.
Okay. Public schools and charter schools.
Yes.
All right. Who is Alan? And what does Alan believe?
Alan believes that, talking, but I feel like nobody listens to Alan. He cries so much because he want people to listen to him. And when he don't get to listen, then that really hurts him. And it's like nobody listens to Alan. Alan's trying to tell y'all something important, but y'all just push him away.
Now, who is A-Town?
Now, A-Town stick ups for Alan because since Alan gets hurt a lot, A-Town comes in the process. And A-Town stands strong and be brave and take risks in the right way, not in no crazy way. But A-Town know how to stand up for itself. And it's crazy, people react to A-Town, not Alan.
Right.
And when I'm trying to show Alan, when you show Alan to certain people, it's like, oh, that's all I hear.
Sympathy, yeah.
Yeah, sympathy. Like, don't do that. You want Allen or A-Town? Which one you want?
Okay. So the first time you realized that you were admired by the youth, what happened?
This guy said he heard my raps, I was good. And he said to me, "You're me." I said that I didn't know, like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know I would become a bit. And he said, come on, A-Town, I heard you rap, you're good, come on, you're me. And I was like, no, thanks. Like, you know, I was like, I feel like I was being, you know, coming at, like, in the wrong way. So A-Town came out and started saying crazy stuff to that person. But I didn't know that was people liking that, but I really was telling him who I really was.
Right.
But to him, it's like, oh, it's funny. And to the people in the youth and everybody think it was funny, but I don't think it was funny.
Right.
I'm just standing up for myself.
Right. Okay. So when you go to the journey, when you started helping people, you feel as though you was helping people, you needed to help people. When was that you realized that?
After I got over my situation, my health, and make sure I was right, I said, okay, I can help people.
Right.
Start doing this, okay. Maybe I went through this, okay, I know other people might go through this, how can I help them? I said, I can. You know, talking to them, you know, therapy, you know, I had therapy to talk to. I went up and picked up a paper or a pen, started writing poets, and started doing music, start dancing, like, you know, other stuff you could do, you know, help people out, and they started liking it.
Right. Yeah, poetry is very therapeutic. I'm a poet myself. I write poetry a lot as well. All the time you were started helping people, who were helping you?
My mom,
Okay.
God, Jesus Christ, and that was it. I almost had me and my mom, nobody else, you know, because in this world it's crazy, you know, I ain't had nobody. It was just me and my mom.
When they say heal people, and hurt people, hurt people. So when you got to a place of growth, development, and healing, you start being able to heal other people by sharing your story like we're doing right now today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. What would you say to someone facing challenges like bullying, either online or in school? How can kids stand up to bullying, cyberbullying?
Cyberbullying needs to stop right away, because it could lead to suicide and killing each other over nonsense.
Right.
So that stuff got to stop. We gotta find some other way to do, like, you know, internet is so big and powerful.
Right.
We could do anything, like, for us, like, you know, put it together. Like, please stop that, because, you know, because other people are just losing focus of their minds and just worry about the wrong stuff. Right. Focus on positive, because the cyberbully can easily, you know, disconnect your brain of certain things. We want to put you on the right track.
Yeah, cyberbullying is really, really effective, really powerful, because even though the person is writing a comment on somebody's page or posting something about someone bullying them, they never see the real effects that it have on that person. Like when you face to face with somebody, you can see the effects that it's having on them. And sometimes when people bully other people and they see that they hurt that person, sometimes they feel a little sympathy or they can empathize with them. They may stop. But when you're on social media, you really don't see the outcome or the effect that it has on that person. So the individual who is being bullied or cyberbullying, how can they stand up against that? How can they fight or combat against that bullying, that type of bullying?
How can I overcome against that about the cyberbullying?
Yeah, like somebody's writing something or texting something on social media.
Delete it.
Okay.
Report it. Block it. Or whatever, because it's like negative. You want positive in your life. You don't want negative. Like, it's the same thing if I say, oh, coming at you in the wrong way, you gonna like, oh man, no, you gonna might go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how you be feeling, right. And that's bad. And then putting myself, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know you could come back and, you know, say something crazy to me, and I might be all no, you know, to be positive, like, you know, have a good day, sir, right. Or hi, how you doing? I hope you have a blessed day. Or nice day we have, something positive. Right.
Because I don't think the kids really know the seriousness of cyberbullying.
No, you know, because that reason why in ourselves, we are adults. The new generation is coming out. Please teach the new generation this. Not the bad stuff. Of course, bad stuff gonna come, but don't teach them bad stuff. Teach them the right stuff. If you teach what we just taught, like it starts in our home and brings us out into the world and see how people goes through. You know what I'm saying? Us and the adults, we gotta tell the youth, hey, no. We trying to tell. Of course, some kids not gonna listen. That's where we might put them on beyond scared straight, like straighten them up.
Do you think the arts help people express their innermost feelings?
Yes, they do. But it's like, poet, like you write about your life or write a book or write or paint something or draw something. That could expand yourself or cooking. Whatever you see that you're good at and as where stuff is hitting you, like bothering you and stuff, use that into like in a story. Or use that like into a song. That would blow.
Right. Yeah, because I think, like I said, I write poetry myself, and I use that as therapy. From writing raps to poetry, because poetry is more real and not exaggerated. So like real stories, and I noticed that it helped me a lot, but it also helped the listener, who may be sharing the same experiences you have shared,
Right.
you have went through. What do you say to a young person who was being abused in their home and now coming out and being a bully to the kids in the neighborhood?
Stop, please get help. We don't want you to get hurt or be dead. None of that. We want you to get help, and so you can talk about it. Please find somebody that's close to you or whatever. Please, I don't want you to be so educated about being hurt and what's going on, and you killing the world. And somebody will help you out so you can get through this, so you can have a better life than somebody certain might would have.
Okay, great. So, what would you say to the parents out there who has a child that's getting bullied?
Listen, do not give up. You see how strong I made. I want y'all to be strong too. Be brave. Take risks for your kids who have health problems. Do not give up. You fight. You go down to that school board. I don't care if you get kicked out. At least you know you did your part. I'm telling you, yo, it's a struggle. Me and my mom did it, and you could do it too. So, you know what I'm saying? Listen what I'm saying. Please listen. You know what I'm saying? We got 2 ears and 1 mouth. I'm so serious. I want y'all to be successful. Come on, kids. I'm rooting for you. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time.
It's okay.
It's going to take some time. But at the end of the day, when your son graduate or daughter or son graduate, you'll see like, oh, I went through this and that. Oh, this, yeah, but you did it though. No, yes, I did it too. You know what I'm saying? Please.
Okay, now, next question. Looking at your childhood, the challenges you faced, the awards you have received, what would you say is the most important thing out of all?
Living my life, because I could have been dead a long time ago. And that I put up here at the age of 15. But at the same time, though, it's a miracle that God has certain things for certain body to, press forward in life-wise. And the stuff I go through with health and everything, I don't let that stop me because because I'm brave and take risks that is like, it's not going to harm me. At the same time, though, this what I have go through life is just amazing. It amazed me, but how I still keep staying strong and fighting for it.
Right, great. So, what are your thoughts on the violence in Philadelphia?
Oh yeah, like the violence is crazy. As I was growing up, the kids were shooting. Now you got like 6-year-olds, everything grabbing guns and everything, and it's depressing. It really is. People come in and just want to shoot for what? Stop. You know what I'm saying? Life is too short. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We have a violent city, I believe, because of the culture of violence is being promoted through TV, radio, social media, news, and a lot of our youth thinking this is the only way to solve their problems and their pain and their hurt. To bullying on another level with guns now, right? So that's another form of bullying, but extreme form of bullying.
Right. That's like killing your own kind.
Yeah.
That's our rape.
When you were bullied at 13, it seems like older kids were killing one another. Now, 13-year-old children are killing. What do you think about that?
Oh, this is depressing. Like I said, this gotta stop. Remember, as ourselves, we lucky to be alive. We not in that, but we could tell them stop. Like this was gonna happen to you. It's really serious about this. Bullying is really, it's hurting people and it's hurt and it's killing people and also it's destroying some people's lives. We gotta as an ourselves, as an adults, everybody, me, you, everybody, we gotta teach our kids or whatever, like, hey, don't do this, please don't do it. There's a lot of stuff that's going on around, and
What do you hope to accomplish with this anti-bullying campaign?
I want people to be brave. I want people to be having hope. I want people to take certain risks of, trying. That's when I say risk, I mean trying.
Right.
Try your hardest. And people to go far in life. Like, don't let this determine your future. Because whereas me, if I let this determine the future, I wouldn't be sitting right here talking. Be honest. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to y'all. I'd probably be somewhere probably in the mental institution looking all crazy, like, But remember, God always has a plan.
Sure. He's the best of planners. Right. So why do you think the arts are good for kids?
Because it's like you could tell yourself a story. And people would love to listen to stories, and stories could easily lead to prosperity, to big, stuff in your life can help you a lot of things. And also when you see it, you can understand, you can feel what they was feeling. Because stories could make you feel, oh snap, or make you think, oh, it's a story.
Right. Great, A-Town. Great information, great advice, great story, and hopefully that people will listen and learn from your experience. Because all we have is experience. We will learn from our own experience, or we learn from someone else's experience.
Mm-hmm.
And you're putting your experience out there, your message out there, and hopefully people will take heed of that. Especially the parents out there who have children that are being bullied, or are being the bullied, or bullying other children. Listen to A-Town's story and see his journey and how it almost cost him to take his own life, and also
yes, took my own life, everything. I remember I did something wrong too.
Right.
You mind?
Right, sure.
The age of 17, when I was in junior high, 17 in high school, 11th grade. This kid was getting, I took out matters in my own hands, and when I grabbed the knife, instead of telling somebody, I took matters in my own hand. Right. And I started, when I used violence, like stab, I was gonna be like Chucky, stab him. But I told on my crush, and when I told on my crush told on me, and I was hurt. The cops came, they said I couldn't get locked up because I didn't know no better, so they put me into the cop car. They put me in the cop car. Had to fill out papers. My mom was upset, and soon they said, "All right, let him go," but he still had to go to this. So they sent me to the mental institution center. And after they sent me to the mental institution center, they said I was right. I was there for 2 weeks to get understanding, and that's what I'm saying. Stuff in my life was not always perfect. And that's why I be saying, see, we have to tell people about that, because see, right there, you heard me say I didn't tell nobody. I took matters in my own hands. Right. And that really, put yourself in more danger, more risk. You see what I'm saying? I could have lost everything in that situation, but God says no. But I be saying, you gotta understand what I be saying. Please listen.
Right. So how did you feel when they placed you in the back of the cop car?
I looked at my skin, and I looked at the cop I looked at the cops. They kept asking me questions. The seat was hardest ever. And I'm like, well, another black man about to get incarcerated. Like,
how's the support with the community, with your family?
it's doing okay. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, you gotta watch who's your real people are. You know.
Right.
You know, 'cause when you first start out in this entertainment business game, you know, then when you start meeting all these people and stuff, you want to see who you want to trust, who you want to do this, or you want to do. You gotta be careful. Just
Right.
be careful who you surround with.
Right. That's snakes in the grass.
Like,
That's great. So there you have it. A-Town anti-bullying campaign moving forward in 2021 and beyond. And I hope we bring more awareness to this bullying situation and how it affects our youth, and also how it plays a role in some of the damage that our youth are going through. And hopefully that we can choose to follow A-Town Island's way to try to get help that you need. If you're a bullier, or if you're being bullied, also go seek help, and hopefully people will listen to your voice and take heed and take action, so we can stop the bullying and we can stop the cyberbullying on social media. Ladies and gentlemen, A-Town.
thank you.
Hello, how you doing? My name is Melissa Adams. I am A-Town's mother. A-Town, also known by his government name, is Alan Sherrod. He's my rock. I love him to death. I guess from day one, dealing with Alan ever since he was little, him being small, as he's short for his height, age, I should say. Alan does have autism. He's on the higher end of the spectrum, and he does have some learning disabilities. He had developmental disabilities that has stunted him with his growth, and issues with his kidneys, in and out the hospital all the time. I mean, just a simple cold, he gets sick. Which he's had a kidney transplant, which that lasted for 17 years, and it failed him, and now he's on dialysis, and which he goes faithfully, which he knows that's his lifeline. Him being the smallest, kids try to gang up on him, and it's always had to tell Alan, you got to stay in your ground. And I've stayed in the schools from the time he was in grade school through high school. Stayed in the schools on the teachers, the principals, therapists, about doing what they're supposed to do. He went to one school, no problem, great, no problem, because everybody there had some kind of learning disability that they had to deal with, so it was no issue. Even the teachers were very attentive. But when it came time to integrate him into regular public school, as they told me from day one, they said, you're going to have to stay on top of everybody with doing what they're supposed to do. Because they're not going to want to. Yeah, I worked, but I still made time to make sure everything was straight because of what was going on. Kids picking with him because of his size. I'm going up there trying to find out what's going on. Like I said, you just get tired of it, but you have to stay involved. It gets very frustrating as a parent of a special needs child, and you're dealing with it by yourself. I'm a single parent trying to do this by myself. You get everybody, these, no, we can't do this, no, we can't do that, when they know they're supposed to do these things, but they don't want to. So I went to the school board on them, the teachers and the therapists, and they didn't like that. He's always had a thing for trying to make people laugh, always. Even as a kid in school, he said, the teacher has said to him, I should have 20 eyes looking at me. He raised his hand to the teacher. The teacher said, yes, Alan. He said to her, don't you mean 19? He just always liked to be around people. He's always happy. Just always happy. And that's what people always told me, adults, he's a happy child. With disability, you can still do whatever you want. You can do positive things. I'm sorry, it has nothing to do with you having a disability. Nothing.